present a cultured, sophisticated man about town. Hit it! If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes, or cutaway coat, perfect fits. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying mighty hard to look like Gary Cooper. Colored Smiths wear Rockefellers, walk with sticks or umbrellas in their midst.
It's a wonderful piece of lunacy. It must have been great fun making that.
Oh, it was. It was the most fun I had on any movie I was in. And Peter Boyle, who died recently, he was just sensational in this part.
When you look back at that, was it with a sense of nostalgia, of sadness, of what? That period in your life when you were making Richard Pryor and with Mel
and Gilda, and after Gilda died, I thought, I'll never get married again. I wasn't too old to get married, but I said that it won't happen. And then I was writing See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
Yeah, that's your memoir, yes.
No, that was with Richard Pryor. And I had to meet this lady at the New York League for the Hard of Hearing because I had to study about the hearing impaired and the blind. So I went to see this lady, and they told me her name was Ms. Webb. I said, oh my God, my luck. Some New England old biddy is going to say, you're making fun of the blind and the deaf. And I walk in there, and out comes this vision in a lavender dress, a little pink, little splashes of blue. And she was working at the New York League for the Hard of Hearing, and she put me through all kinds of different tests and sent me to lip reading classes and everything. And she said, if I ever get the money for a grant, would you help me? I want to put videos out so people who can't afford to come to New York can go to a library. I said, sure, okay. And then about 3 or 4 months later, she called, remember me? I said, of course. I've got the money for the grant. Would you help me? And she sent me the script. And I said, as Zero said to me, I told her, this script is going to close on page 4 because there's no humor in it. You can't just have statistics. So we met in a little Italian restaurant, 11 tables.
Detail.
She put her tape recorder in the center between us at this little table, and she had a brilliant idea of giving me problems of someone who wants to read lips, but the person he's trying to read is chewing gum, or has a mustache covering his upper lip, or standing in shadows, and you can't. And I would improvise into the tape recorder, and she would write it up or type it up at home. So we met again the following week. More problems, more improvisation. She typed it up. So the third week, I said, leave the tape recorder at home. And that was our first date. And now we're married 15 years. It'll be 16 years in September. And I'm happier than I've ever been in my life.
Oh, it's lovely. Nice. And your fitness, because you had a cancer scare, didn't you?
I did. I had an ache right here, and I said, oh my God, I've got a kidney stone. And I went to the doctor, and they sent me ultrasound and tissue samples, and they said, no, you have Non-Hodgkins Lymphoma, which is a blood cancer. And a hematological oncologist in Connecticut said, I'm going to give you 9 sessions of chemotherapy, and I'll give you something, if it all works, I'm going to give you something called Rituxan, and then you're all done. And after 2 sessions, my spleen shrunk down to normal. After 4 sessions, the tumor was gone, and I called my doctor friend in Los Angeles just to tell him the good news. And he said, I'm very happy for you, Gene, but I'm not content until you see Carol Portlock at Sloan Kettering Memorial Cancer Hospital. And I went to see her, and she said, you're very healthy, Mr. Wilder, and you're very chemo-responsive, but it's going to come back. My wife's jaw dropped. I said, when? She said, 6 months. I said, well, can't we wait 6 months to find out if you're right? And she said, you can, but once it comes back, it's much more difficult to get rid of again. I said, so what do I do? And she said, stem cell transplant. And that's not embryonic stem cell, it's autologous, so you take it from your own blood. They gave me a lot of chemo and took out all those little stem cells after giving me chemo that weren't red or white yet. They didn't know, they're so young. And then they froze them in a bag about this big. And then after the radiation and the chemo, they came in, thawed out the stem cells, sang happy birthday to me. And I said, what? He said, this is the beginning of your new life. And
is it a remission, or?
After 5 years, I went into what is called complete remission. And I was going on a book tour 2 years ago, here in London, and I said, what do I tell people if they say, how are you, Gene? And he said, say you're in complete remission. I said, well, can I say I'm cured? He said, well, cured is an insurance term, actuary tables and all that. Just say, if you outlive your doctor, you're cured. So I thought the best way to achieve that would be to get a gun and shoot my doctor. But I love him, and we're good friends now. And now it's 7.5 years.
Oh, great.
So I'm very healthy now.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. The book, I hear, might be... the film rights have been bought, in fact, so you've gone right back to where you started.
Yes.
The original screenplay is now going to become a movie.
I had to rewrite a screenplay, though.
Yes, of course, that's true. There's a novella called My French Girl. Gene Wilder, thank you very much indeed.
Gene Wilder.
My thanks to Gene Wilder, to Ian Hislop, to Patrick Stewart and to Joe Cocker. Until next week, from all of us here, a very good night. Good night.